The topic of sodium is a beast, and so we're going to try in a couple minutes to wrap in all the different factors to be able to help you control your sodium and have things be healthier for you. Each day, we've been given a budget of about 2,300 milligrams of sodium, compared to what we usually have every day that's about double that. First and foremost, if you go out to eat, you're going to have probably the most sodium of your day. Choose smaller sandwiches, smaller side dishes. It'll help keep the amount of sodium that you're having less because your portion's less. If you're eating a frozen meal or something that happens to have a label, look at the backs of them. Each meal you should have about 25% the daily value so that you have about 25% left over for snacks. If you do that together, you're going to keep close to what your sodium level is. And what you'll find is even in the less expensive brands, you can do pretty well. When you talk about salts and seasonings, one thing that you want to keep in mind is some versions already don't have any salt to them. If you use fresh herbs and spices, even dried ones, can be inexpensive, they can work really great for you, and it can really make a difference. I have a tendency to steer a little bit clear of straight up salt substitutes. Maybe the half and half can work, but a lot of the ones that are straight up salt substitutes are a little sharp on the tongue. The thing you want to keep in mind is, depending on what your medical conditions are, they're replacing the sodium with potassium. And so in those situations, if you have to watch your potassium, that's something that you need to be paying attention to. If you have a tendency to think sea salt is the big hot thing, just keep in mind, sea salt still has a lot of sodium to it. Not that much less than the traditional salt, like you're kind of marketed to think it does. The other thing to keep in mind is, a lot of times people don't realize baking soda is a form of salt. Soda is sodium in that case. When you do things at home where you're making soups and stir fries, it can make a huge difference for you because you can go with smaller versions of salt because you can cut your ramen noodle packet in half. You can use light soy sauces. You can use unsalted or low sodium broths or stocks. When you do things like snacks, try and focus on having the lower sodium versions of those or things that naturally happen to be lower in salt. Keep making those little decisions when you have the choices, and altogether you can really impact your sodium intake.